After my girlfriend removed our couple's tattoo, my memories of wooing her vanished. A young male model from my girlfriend's company sent me a video. In it, Ye Qingjian was removing the tattoo of my name from her chest. The pain brought tears to her eyes. How about we don't remove it? The young model asked with a smirk. Ye Qingjian shook her head, her tone resolute. No, it has to be removed, no matter how much it hurts. I can't let people misunderstand and think I'm tied to Liu Yan for life. I'm still young. I need to try being with other men. He chuckled in reply. Well then, I wish you success. Ye Qingjian didn't know that I was a conqueror from another world, on a mission to win her over. After the mission was complete to stay by her side, the system sealed my memories of the conquest within the tattoo on her chest. Now that she has removed it, in 72 hours, I will forget her completely. When Ye Qingjian came home, I was chatting with a buyer on a second-hand website. She approached from behind, wrapped her arms around my neck, and whispered in my ear, Yan, what are you looking at so intently? Seeing the transaction details on the screen, she asked, are you selling something? Sensing her curiosity, I turned off my phone and said lightly, just some unimportant things. Hearing this, she didn't press further. She stood up, stretched, and said, oh, right. Ani, cook something light tonight, and definitely no chili peppers. I played dumb. What? I thought you couldn't live without spicy food. Ye Qingjian glanced quickly at her well-covered chest and lied without batting an eye. My stomach hasn't been well these past few days. I need to eat something light. I looked at her but didn't expose her lie. All right. That evening, I made her pickled vegetable congee, the dish we used to eat most often when we were at our poorest. Back then, Ye Qingjian would eat with a face full of happiness, saying, Yan, you can even make wild vegetables taste this good. I could eat this for a lifetime and never get tired of it. Love made everything sweet. Life was hard back then, but we were truly happy. But now, Ye Qingjian just stirred the hot congee with her chopsticks a couple of times, a look of disgust on her face. Our living standards are better now. Why are you still making these wild vegetables? The past is the past. Who are you trying to annoy by making this? With that, she grabbed her coat from the sofa and left. I'm eating out. The moment the door closed, I looked at the congee in my bowl and gave a bitter smile. People always say it's easy to endure hardship together, but difficult to share prosperity. I didn't believe it before, but now I have to. Ye Qingjian had changed. I summoned the system, and told it I wanted to leave. The system, with an I knew it expression, said, I'll take you away in 3 days. 3 days is enough. I would use this time to meticulously reconstruct our 13 years of memories, and then forget her forever. I am a conqueror from another world. Ye Qingjian, in the original story, was a side character destined for a tragic end. To save her, I took her from an orphanage. As a teenager, I washed dishes in a restaurant to support her. Back then, I earned 30 cents per dish, and had to wash 200 dishes a day. Working from morning till night, I only made 60 yuan a day. 50 yuan was for her school fees, and the remaining 10 was for our living expenses. Sometimes the boss would let me take home leftovers. When business was slow, I had to forage for wild vegetables. Pickled vegetables were the most common dish on our table back then. After much hardship, Ye Qingjian finally got into university. I used my accumulated points and the precognitive skills I exchanged from the system to help her seize an opportunity to buy up ceramic pots. The following year, ceramic cakes became a massive hit and Ye Qingjian made a fortune. With the startup capital, and on my advice, she started a management agency, signing models and artists. Years passed, and she established a firm foothold in the fashion industry. At various parties and banquets, everyone respectfully called her Sister Ye. I remember when she became successful, she organized a private fireworks show for me. Our names were displayed on the tallest building in the city. Thousands of drones formed the words eternal love, with our initials below. Her cheeks were flushed, her eyes shimmering with my reflection. She threw herself into my arms and said in a hoarse voice, Yan, without you, I wouldn't be who I am today. Please, never leave me, okay? I held her tightly, as if wanting to merge her into my very being. I will never leave you. Yan, I love you. We kissed in front of everyone, receiving the envy and blessings of the entire city. It was also at that moment that I gave up on returning to my own world. The system had tried to persuade me earnestly, from what I know, conquerors who choose to stay never have a good ending. But I believed in Ye Qingjian. She loved me, her eyes couldn't lie. When she learned of my decision, Ye Qingjian hugged me tightly and solemnly promised, Yan, I won't let you lose. However, just 2 years after I decided to stay, I noticed Ye Qingjian had changed. Her company signed a new batch of male models. Normally, new talents were assigned to the managers under her. But Yan Yan was different. He was handpicked by the boss herself. From his first day, he was always by Ye Qingjian's side. A man's intuition told me I could see the ambition in Yan Yan's eyes. I knew he wouldn't be content as just a minor model. I tried talking to Ye Qingjian about it, but she said, Yan Yan has limitless potential. I plan to send him to the international stage. I don't trust anyone else with him. Don't worry, I'm really just thinking about the company. Don't overthink it. I only love you. We've been together for 10 years, don't you trust me? Of course I trusted her, only to be humiliated by Yan Yan like this today, making me realize how laughable our past vows were. But it would be over soon. Soon I would forget her, forget you, forget all our sweet memories. My phone pinged. It was a message from the buyer on the second hand site. I want to buy the ring. Can you guarantee it's authentic? The person was still skeptical. I sent them the certificate of authenticity and told them they could pay upon delivery. Only then did they feel at ease. But from what I know, the jade on the ring was bought by Miss E at an auction for 5 million. Later, she specially hired a foreign designer to create a pair of rings with it. You're selling something worth millions for just tens of thousands. Is its origin legitimate? He could recite the ring's history so easily thanks to Ye Qingjian, who used to share every detail of her life with the public. In reality, for such high-value auction items, bosses usually send assistants and keep their identity hidden. But Ye Qingjian was different. To show her love for me, the day she bought the jade, she announced everywhere that it was for me. After it was made into rings, she even posted a picture of our clasped hands, saying she would have no one but me in this life. Everyone said I must have been incredibly lucky in my past life to meet a woman who loved me so much, and they urged me to cherish Ye Qingjian. Ye Qingjian had replied to that comment section, it's me who can't leave him. From then on, everyone said I had a way with women, that the famous sister Ye was completely smitten with me. Only I knew that happiness built on flowery words was actually fragile. I replied to the buyer, don't worry, I'm not a scammer. After they paid, I scheduled the delivery for the next day. I looked at the time, it was already 12 am. Not a single call or message from Ye Qingjian. In the past, she never came home after 10 p.m. I used to tell her she could go out with friends or attend necessary social events, and I would wait for her in the car. But she would say, dealing with those hypocrites is not as good as spending time talking with you. Don't worry, I said I'd be back by 10, and I will be. I won't make you worry. But now, if she wasn't home by 10 and I called to ask, she would get impatient. I'm earning money. I am working. Do you think I'm idle like you, doing nothing at home all day? When did a big shot like sister yeah I need a freeloader like you to manage me? Know your place. Even though she was drunk, it was the first time I saw her true thoughts. After that incident, feeling she had misspoken, she bought me many things to apologize, saying she didn't mean it. But she never picked up my calls again. Tonight, I was also prepared for her not to answer. Surprisingly, the call connected. A playful voice came from the other end. Brother Yan, sister Ye is drunk and is clinging to me, not wanting to go home. What should I do? When I arrived at the private room, Ye Qingjian was so drunk her cheeks were flushed. One hand was inside Yan Yan's shirt, her eyes hazily fixed on him. Yan Yan, don't go home tonight. Come with me. Yan Yan of course saw me. He deliberately cut Ye Qingjian's face. Sister, if I go home with you, will your man get angry? At the mention of me, Ye Qingjian pouted. How can he compare to you? You're young, handsome, and capable. I'm crazy about you. In a little while, I'll break up with him and do with you, okay? Okay. Then you have to announce to the whole city that you belong to me, Yan Yan said, pinching Ye Qingjian's waist. Ye Qingjian let out a soft moan. I promise. Then, the two of them kissed passionately. Honestly, I should have been furious, despairing, feeling a pain like ants gnawing at my bones. But all I felt was a dull itch in my heart, and nothing else. It seemed the side effects of removing the tattoo were kicking in. Back then, the system had sealed my love and memories of Ye Qingjian in that tattoo. Now that the tattoo was gone, my memories were beginning to fade. I could watch the woman I once loved kiss another man, and then silently help her into the car. Yang Yam stood by, arms crossed, mocking me. History doesn't like you anymore. Why are you still clinging to her? If I were you, I'd break up amicably. You might even get some severance pay. A woman's heart can't be tied down. Once she's tasted something new and exciting outside, she'll never forget it. Oh, and one more thing. Do you know where Sister Ye tattooed my name after removing yours? Yan Yan didn't elaborate. He knew I would check. So, when I was taking off Yakinjian's clothes to change her into pajamas, I saw the heart and the letters Yai tattooed on her inner thigh. An immense sense of absurdity washed over me. I still remembered her saying she tattooed my name on her chest because she held me in her heart. So what did the tattoo on her inner thigh mean now? I didn't dare to think too deeply. I just settled her in the master bedroom and spent a sleepless night in the guest room. The next morning, Yakinjian woke up from her hangover. Seeing that she was in the bedroom, and her clothes had been changed, her face turned pale. As she walked out, she saw me just sending off a delivery man. She asked hesitantly, "Did you bring me home last night?" I nodded. "Yes." Then, was there anyone else besides you? I looked up at her guilty expression and told her the truth. Yan was there too. Yakinjian's heart skipped a beat. She didn't know how I had found her or what I had seen. She could only purse her lips and explain, "I was out for dinner last night and happened to run into him. So we ate together." "You're not mad, are you?" I continued tidying up. "Oh. It's just..." Yakinjian paused. "Just what?" "Since you've had the tattoo removed, you shouldn't drink, to avoid infection." Yakinjian breathed a sigh of relief. "Actually, I only removed the tattoo because it doesn't look good with backless evening gowns. You know I have to deal with political circles now, and it wouldn't be good for them to see I have a tattoo. Don't overthink it." "I'm not overthinking." My tone was flat. Yakinjian got the answer she wanted but couldn't feel happy about it. She felt my reaction was very strange. She decided to act cute and coax me. "Okay, it was my fault yesterday. How about we go see a movie? The sequel to your favorite movie is out. I'll go with you, okay?" It was nice of her to still remember. I agreed. But just after we had our tickets checked, I heard the ticket inspector mutter, "Didn't Sister Ye just book the entire theater to watch this yesterday? Why is she here again today?" Then, upon seeing me, he immediately fell silent. He didn't need to say it. I knew who she had watched it with yesterday. Inside the theater, I watched the movie I had been anticipating for 4 years, but I felt nothing. It wasn't that the movie was bad, but the person who watched the first one with me 4 years ago had a wandering heart now. In the dark theater, only Yakinjian's phone screen beside me was lit. She was using a privacy screen, so I couldn't see what she was typing. But from her typing speed and the way she kept looking back, I understood. Yan had bought a ticket for the same show. Soon, Yakinjian told me she had to go to the restroom. I nodded slowly then watched her walk out of the theater, followed by another man. I followed them. "Sister, you promised to introduce me to the fashion editor today. Why did you break your promise?" Yakinjian pinched his cheek. "I had to soothe him first before I could be with you." "Alright, don't be angry. I'll buy you a car later, okay? I'm not with you for that." Yakinjian understood. "Next quarter's magazine cover. I'll arrange a solo feature for you. I'll also prepare designer clothes for you." Only then was Yan satisfied. "To thank you, sister, I can only work harder in bed." As he said this, Yan glanced in my direction and whispered something in Yakinjian's ear. A glint appeared in Yakinjian's eyes as she took out her phone and started typing. My phone vibrated. I saw the message Yakinjian had just sent. "Something came up at the company. I have to go." I replied, "Okay." Then I opened my notes and crossed off watch a movie. There were 10 items in total, a plan I had set for myself for these 3 days, representing our most unforgettable memories over the past 13 years. 8 items remained. 60 hours left until I forget her. Yan sent me a provocative text. "Sister Yai is so easy to fool. I just said I bought a collar, and she left with me. You've been with her for so many years. Did you know she's actually a very wild woman? She always said you're too rigid and boring, no fun at all." He even sent me a few risk photos. I didn't reply. Instead, I messaged Yakinjian, "Want to go camping tonight?" I knew she wouldn't reply, but I stuck to my plan, sending her a message before doing each item. "Want to go fly a kite? Want to go to a stand-up comedy show? Want to go to the amusement park? Want to watch fireworks? Want to watch the sunset?" All the messages went unanswered. The last item on the list was celebrate our 13th anniversary together. 10 hours left until I leave her. That day, I cooked a huge feast, ordered a 3-tiered cake, and bought a bouquet of lilies of the valley. After everything was ready, there were 5 hours left until my departure. I called her and asked if she could come home early today. She readily agreed, saying she was on her way to buy me a gift. "It's our anniversary today, I won't forget." But an hour passed, then 2. When there was only an hour and a half left until midnight, Yan sent me a message. It was a picture of a one-of-a-kind ring that Yan had bought for him. Brother Yan, Sister Yan insists on giving this to me. Should I accept it or not? She said it's a gift for our 4th anniversary. Oh right, isn't today your 13th anniversary with Sister Ye? Let me tell you, after 13 years without a proper title, you shouldn't expect Sister Ye to marry you. You should leave. I made one last call to Yakinjian. She didn't answer. Then, I sent a file to the department, and the person in charge of the building where Yakinjian had confessed her love to me, telling them to display it at 8 a.m. the next day. If Yan wanted a grand, public relationship, I would help him. The cost was exactly the 50,000 yuan I got from selling the ring. Finally, I sent one last message to Yakinjian, let's break up. The 72-hour countdown ended. All my memories of Yakinjian were instantly erased. Reset to 0. Without waiting for her reply, I threw my phone from the building. With that, I said goodbye to everything here. I returned to my original world. Everything in that other world felt like a dream I could no longer recall clearly. He started a normal life. Meanwhile, on the other side, Yakinjian felt a tightness in her chest. A great discomfort. She rubbed it a few times and noticed the spot where the tattoo was removed had turned red and was painful to the touch. It was past midnight. Their anniversary had been missed. She had intended to go home after buying the gift, but Yan had a dinner with a brand. When he went out, he was harassed. As her man, she naturally wouldn't let others lay a hand on him. She thought just picking him up would be enough, but she didn't expect Yan to take her home. Somehow, the two ended up kissing and falling into bed, fooling around for hours. When she looked at Yan's phone, it was already 12:30 am. She didn't know what had gotten into Liu Yan these past few days. He kept asking if she wanted to go out and play. Annoyed, she had set his messages to silent. But annoyance aside, their 13th anniversary still had to be celebrated. She got dressed, ready to leave, but Yan hugged her waist, not letting her go. The anniversary has already passed anyway. Just rest here. It's the same if you go back tomorrow morning. Don't worry, Brother Yan won't be angry. If it were the past, Yakinjian might have actually stayed. But today, she was determined to go back. Driving on the road, she used her voice assistant to call Liu Yan. Several calls went unanswered. She floored the accelerator, rushing home as fast as she could. The moment she entered, she was greeted by a table full of her favorite dishes, a large cake, and a bucket of her favorite lilies of the valley. She sniffed them. The flowers were still fresh, and the food was still warm. Liu Yan must have not been able to wait for her and went upstairs to sleep. At this thought, she breathed a sigh of relief. As long as Liu Yan was still willing to prepare surprises for her, it meant he still loved her. And as long as he loved her, she had a way to smooth things over. She placed the watch she bought on the dining table and went upstairs to call for Liu Yan. But she searched every room and he was nowhere to be found. She was puzzled but also secretly pleased. If Liu Yan wasn't home, then she wasn't the one who stood him up on their anniversary. She had it all planned out. No matter when Liu Yan came back, she could say she had been waiting for him for a long time and make him apologize to her. But Liu Yan didn't come back the entire night. Early the next morning, she was woken up by a call from her assistant. Yeah, look up the news. Something big has happened. Yakinjian had a terrible temper when woken up. She cursed out her assistant, and then opened the top trending topics. Number 1. Ye groups Yakinjian involved with her own male model. Grand confession becomes a joke. Just seeing the headline made Yakinjian's face turn pale. With trembling hands, she finished reading the news and immediately messaged her assistant, telling the department to handle it urgently and not let a single detail leak. The assistant replied, the media and departments have already taken it down, but many people still saw it. But you need to come to the company right away. Yakinjian got dressed, preparing to rush to the company, when she suddenly realized Liu Yan hadn't been home all night. She wondered if he had seen the news. Although she played around outside, it was just for a fleeting sense of novelty. Once she was tired of it, she would still spend the rest of her life with Liu Yan. On her way to the company, she called Liu Yan several times, but still no one answered. She could only use her voice assistant to open her chat history with him, planning to tell him not to go anywhere, not to accept any interviews, that it was all a frame. But when she opened the chat window, she saw the message Liu Yan had sent last night, let's break up. The timestamp was 23:59 last night. In other words, Liu Yan had waited at home for her until the very last minute. She panicked. She tried calling him again using voice command, but it still wouldn't connect. Her assistant called again, saying the company was surrounded by reporters. Yan had been blocked and was trapped in his car. Meanwhile, Other models in the company, long dissatisfied with Ye Qingjin's favoritism towards Yan Yan, began to anonymously leak information. With everything piling up, Ye Qingjin's head throbbed. In a moment of carelessness, she crashed into a guardrail, her forehead hitting the glass. She was hospitalized. The reporters quickly found out and swarmed the hospital, disrupting its normal operations. With no other choice, Ye Qingjin, with a freshly bandaged head, had to face an interview. But she kept repeating the same thing. This matter is purely a rumor. I will issue a lawyer's letter, and make the rumormongers face the punishment they deserve. A reporter pressed on. Miss, if you say it's a rumor, can you have Mr. Liu Yan come forward and explain? Ye Qingjin frowned at the reporter. Liu Yan is not in the industry. He will not appear. From what I know, the reason you've achieved so much today is entirely thanks to Mr. Liu Yan's support in the past. In the early days of your agency, it was Mr. Liu Yan who had a keen eye for talent and brought in the top models you have now, the reporter continued relentlessly. So, to say he's an outsider isn't quite right, is it? Others chimed in. That's right, Miss. Are you afraid to let Mr. Liu Yan show up? Is he also being kept in the dark about this? Don't you think what you're doing is unfair to him? Was the grand confession back then just a joke? The wound on Ye Qingjian's head began to hurt again. She quickly had her bodyguards push the crowd away. Afterward, she went home. Liu Yan still hadn't returned. His phone was still unreachable. For some reason, at that moment, she could understand how Liu Yan felt when she didn't answer his calls. But she firmly believed Liu Yan wouldn't truly ignore her. They had been together for 13 years, and Liu Yan had even given up returning to his world for her. As long as she explained everything clearly, and weathered this storm, she would stop playing around and live a good life with him. But with call after unanswered call, Ye Qingjian grew frustrated and began to scream and curse. Just then, the maid brought in a phone. Ma'am, this phone has been ringing. I think it might be Mr. Liu's. Ye Qingjian took it. It was indeed Liu Yan's. But why was it in the backyard? She used her own birthday to unlock it, and it opened easily. For all these years, Liu Yan had used her birthday as his password, never changing it. In contrast, she couldn't remember when she had stopped using his birthday as her password. She even had a backup phone to keep him from seeing things. The phone's interface was clean. She opened WeChat and saw her own name. The last messages were from her. From yesterday, which he hadn't replied to. To find more information, she went through every app and finally found a clue in the memo. She discovered a plan. The content was exactly what Liu Yan had sent her in messages a few days ago, all small things. Each item had a checkmark with a cross over it. At first, she didn't understand, until she saw the 10th item. Celebrate our 13th anniversary together. It hit her like a ton of bricks. She remembered. When they had just started dating, they had set a goal to do 100 small things for couples. But later, she got too busy, so Liu Yan shortened it to a year. This year was the final deadline. So that's why Liu Yan had been sending her those things. Every year, he would arrange everything. Even if she wasn't happy about it, she would still do it with him. So was he angry because she didn't do it with him this year? If that was all, there was still a chance to salvage things. The year wasn't over yet, she still had a chance. But the straw that breaks the camel's back is never just one. Just then, a WeChat notification popped up. Ye Qingjian opened it. It was from a strange account. The person sent a message. Brother Yan, my affair with Miss EA is all over the news. If you have any self-respect, you should leave. Don't occupy a spot you're not using. You don't know, do you? Spia just told me she's going to use this opportunity to announce that we're together. You old man, she stopped loving you a long time ago. Ye Qingjian continued scrolling through the chat history. The more she read, the more horrified she became. She thought she had hidden it so well, but from the first step she took out of line, Liu Yan had known everything. Her heart pounded, and the wound on her chest itched. She pulled open her clothes to look. The wound was covered in dense white spots, making it hard for her to breathe. Perhaps getting impatient that Liu Yan wasn't responding, the person on the other end called directly. Liu Yan, I call you brother out of respect. But to him now. I'm telling you to get lost. Do you hear me? Oh, right. Yesterday was your 13th anniversary, wasn't it? I deliberately tricked Ms. A, told her I was drunk, and she immediately ditched you to come to me. Do you know how many positions we tried last night, how many condoms we used? Before Yan Yan could finish, Ye Qingjian cut him off. Yan Yan, that's enough. Who gave you permission to cause trouble in front of Yan? Who gave you permission to say these things? Hearing Ye Qingjian's voice, Yan Yan panicked. He never expected that even at this point, Liu Yan would still be with Ye Qingjun. But since he had already said so much, Yan Yan had nothing to fear. Sister, you were the one who said you'd find a chance to break up with him and be with me. Isn't this the perfect opportunity? Just say you broke up with Liu Yan a long time ago and got together with me, and all the problems will be solved. But Ye Qingjun told him bluntly, I can't be with you. The only person mine will marry in the future is Liu Yan. How is that possible? That's not what you said back then. You promised me. Ye Qingjun was so quick to deny everything after the fact. How can you believe words spoken when drunk? Not only that, she also threatened Yan Yan. You're the one who caused all this. You go and explain that you orchestrated everything, that you drugged me and took those photos secretly. If you do that, I can still give you some money and send you abroad to live a good life. If you don't obey, I can make sure you have no future in this country. No agency will dare to sign you. Hearing Ye Qingjun's ruthless words, Yan Yan seemed to finally understand her cruelty. Fine, as you wish. Hearing Yan Yan agree to her terms, she breathed a sigh of relief. Now, she just needed to find Liu Yan and explain everything. But she sent many people to look for him, and they all came back empty-handed. His belongings were still in the villa, and all his information could be found, but the man himself had vanished into thin air. Vanished into thin air. Ye Qingjun remembered something. She recalled that when she was about to get Liu Yan's name tattooed on her chest, he had told her, I've sealed my memories in your tattoo. If you ever stop loving me, just remove the tattoo, and I will forget you forever and leave you. At the time, she thought he was joking, and said she would never remove it, that she would love him forever. It seemed that all the strangeness had started when she removed the tattoo. So, what Liu Yan said back then wasn't a joke after all. Just then, Liu Yan's phone rang again. It was from a second-hand platform. Ye Qingjun remembered Liu Yan had sold something before, but she hadn't paid attention. Now, looking at the transaction page, she realized Liu Yan had sold the engagement ring she had given him. For only 50,000 yuan. With trembling hands, Ye Qingjun opened the chat with the buyer. Without looking at their reply, she sent a message, name your price for the ring. I want to buy it back. The buyer, who had just been praising Liu Yan as a conscientious seller, was instantly displeased. He asked if there was something wrong with Ye Qingjun. They had agreed on a price, so what was the meaning of buying it back now? Ye Qingjun didn't care. I am Ye Qingjun. My boyfriend sold that ring. I want to buy it back. The buyer had a revelation. So you're that Ye Qingjun from the cheating scandal. No wonder your Fiank sold the ring. You don't deserve it. Now that you've revealed your identity, I am definitely not selling it back to you. To be honest, I'm not short on money. I was only interested because the ring symbolizes faithfulness. But looking at you now, I'd rather throw it away than give it to you. The buyer left the chat. Ye Qingjun quickly told her assistant to find the person through their ID. But the assistant told her to watch a live stream first. Yan Yan had started a live stream 3 minutes ago, with the title clarifying the rumors. Ye Qingjun told her assistant not to worry, that Yan Yan was just taking the blame, they had already agreed on a price. The words had barely left her mouth when she heard Yan Yan speak, the news online is all true. The boss of Lanya agency, Ye Qingjun, and I are indeed together. But she forced me to do it all. If I didn't please her, she would blacklist me in the industry. I'm just an ordinary person with no background, and I was scared by her threats, so I submitted to being her mistress. Now that things are exposed, Ye Qingjun is threatening me to take all the blame, or else she'll make it impossible for me to live in this country. I'm really scared, and I hope the netizens can help me, otherwise I'm afraid I'll just vanish into thin air one day. The last 4 words triggered Ye Qingjun. She frantically typed insults at Yan Yan, asking why he broke his promise, why he was spouting nonsense online, why he was slandering her. It was clearly him who had seduced her. But no one would believe her. The models in her company resigned one after another, not afraid of paying tens of millions in breach of contract fees. The company is about to go bankrupt. Why should we stay? A fickle woman like you deserves this. You had such a good find and you chose to cheat. You deserve to have everyone abandon you. Lanya's stock plummeted, and the company was boycotted online. Without Liu Yan, she didn't even have the ability to save her company from ruin. At that moment, she thought of the tattoo again. If removing the tattoo would make Liu Yan forget her, then if she tattooed it back on, would he come back? She immediately ran to a tattoo parlor, exposed her festering chest, and told the artist to tattoo Liu Yan's name in the same spot. The artist saw the horrific state of her chest and shook his head. This is infected. You should wait for the wound to heal. Ye Qingjun didn't care. The sooner it's back to normal, the sooner Liu Yan will come back. She held a knife to her own throat. If you don't do it, I'll die in your shop. Forced, the artist had to do it. Getting a tattoo is painful enough, but on an open wound, it was agonizing. Disinfectant mixed with fresh blood flowed over both of them. The artist felt sick just looking at it, but Ye Qingjian's face was full of hope. As long as Liu Yan's name was back on, he would return. A few hours later, the name, covered in blood, appeared. Ye Qingjian looked at the tattoo in the mirror and smiled with pale lips. Yan, the tattoo is back. You should come back soon too. Ye Qingjian staggered out like a ghost, the front of her shirt soaked in blood. The scene was terrifying, but she had a smile on her face, muttering something. The tattoo artist called the police, genuinely afraid something would happen. But Ye Qingjian, after being taken to the hospital by the police, slipped away when they weren't looking. She went home. She was afraid Liu Yan would come back and not find her. A day passed, then a week. Liu Yan never appeared. She smashed everything in the house over and over, until she thought of Yan Yan again. It must be him. It must be because of him that Yan hasn't come back. In the dead of night, she snuck into Yan Yan's house and held a knife to the sleeping man's throat. Feeling the cold steel, Yan Yan opened his eyes to see Ye Qingjian staring at him like a madwoman. He screamed in terror and tried to escape, but the crazed Ye Qingjian gave him no chance. She plunged the knife into his abdomen, and then again and again, into every part of his body. Yan Yan collapsed in a pool of blood, dying with his eyes open. Ye Qingjian walked back to her own house and began to mutter, Yan, everything is back to normal now. There's no third person anymore. Please come back. Okay. But in the end, it wasn't Liu Yan who came for her, but the police. Ye Qingjian had made no attempt to clean up the crime scene from the previous night. A quick check of the surveillance footage showed that only Ye Qingjian had entered Yan Yan's house. With conclusive evidence, Ye Qingjian was handcuffed. But she struggled like a mad woman, refusing to go. If I leave, Yan won't be able to find me. I'm not going. She pushed past the police and tried to escape through the window, forgetting she was on the third floor. The moment she jumped, she severely fractured her right leg. Compounded by the infection from her tattoo, she passed out. The next time I saw the system was 3 months later. It brought news that Ye Qingjian was dead. The infection on her chest had been severe. She had refused treatment from the doctors, saying that if the wound healed, he wouldn't come back. In the end, the wound festered, she contracted a virus, and died in agony. I listened without any expression. After all, I had already forgotten my love and grievances with her. The person named Ye Qingjian was just a stranger to me now. The system said, I have another mission here. If you complete it successfully, I can heal your leg. I shook my head. No, thank you. I chose to save Ye Qingjian in the first place to heal my legs. But the outcome wasn't good. Although the love has been erased, the pain from that time was real. I don't want to go through that a second time. My life is good now. I've opened a bookstore, and kids from the neighborhood come to chat with me and cheer me up every day. I'm very satisfied with my life now. Seeing my resolve, the system didn't try to persuade me further, only saying, I wish you all the best. I smiled in reply. I will be.